Business success, what it is, how we achieve it, and the common pitfalls are very widely discussed topics. And those are the topics I'm going to be looking at in this week's I Hate Numbers podcast. Let's crack on. Now, in the words of Warren Buffett, you only have to do a few things right in your life, so as long as you don't do too many things wrong. Now, business success, in terms of what does it actually mean? Well, it means different things to different people. And it's really important that your idea of success is not somebody else's idea of success. You need to define for yourself, for your business, what success looks like for you. Fast forward into 12 months, 2 years, 3 years time, and what is it for you that you'd consider successful? Is it a balance of lifestyle? Is it achieving a certain revenue target? Is it achieving certain levels of profitability? Is it having impact all over the world? What does it mean to you? But it's important you don't take on board somebody else's vision, somebody else's idea. So that's really important. Have a picture, visualize it, articulate it. Now, the next thing you need to do is this idea of what's called setting smart objectives. If you've got that picture in your mind of what your destination looks like, and I would typically advise that you look at that destination, that northern star, if you wish, as to what it will be in 3 years' time, and then work backwards to what it looks like in 2 years, what it looks like in 1 year's time. What's that progress going towards that end northern star look like? Now, it's clear you've got to set what are called smart objectives. Now, SMART has to be identified, and it's a very useful mnemonic that are measurable goals that help define your idea of success. Now, as I said earlier, this might be including generating enough profit for a decent lifestyle and a work-life balance. Perhaps you want to achieve certain social and philanthropic goals. Your aspiration may be just to escape the day-to-day of corporate grind if you're doing a side hustle, or you may have loftier ambitions of becoming the next Kieran Mazanda-Shaw, Denise Coates, or dare I say Richard Branson perhaps. Yeah, let's throw him in the mix as well. Now, it's important to identify and differentiate between objectives, aspirations and missions. Without smart objectives, and I'll explain what smart means in a second, you risk drifting into dissatisfaction and confusion. If your goal is just to make loads of money, you will struggle to assess your progress meaningful. So you need to be specific about those targets. Now, smart is something that's specific. Can it be measured? Can it be identified? Is it measurable? Is it achievable for you, not for somebody else? Is it realistic? And is it within that time frame? So if your ambition, if your objective is to generate £100,000 worth of profits, then ask yourself this question. From what base are you starting? Over what time frame are you wishing to achieve that £100,000 figure? Do you have the resources, the application and the tenacity to go ahead and achieve it? Have you got an activity plan? And is it realistic from where you're standing? And it's not to say you shouldn't have those lofty and those big targets here, but what's your start point and what are you going to do to actually get there? The second thing to consider is about what goes on between your ears, your mindset. Now, mindset and attitude plays a more crucial role than we give credit for. A fixed mindset is vital for things like credit control, having good digital accounting systems, managing your costs and resources, but you do need a growth mindset, which is essential for exploring those opportunities, expanding your risk horizon, launching new initiatives and stepping outside of your comfort zone. We all have a comfort zone. We must be careful not to stay completely within that. Every business, I'll hold my hands up to that, makes mistakes and faces setbacks. If people tell you they've never made a mistake in business, then I'd question whether they're actually running a proper business. Everybody will make a mistake. Everybody will face setbacks. It's what we learn from those errors that's important. If we do make mistakes, by all means lick your wounds, mull over it, but don't dwell on it. You've got to dust yourself down, you've got to be resilient and move forward. Avoid too much self-criticism and keep moving in a direction forwards. What else can we add to the mix in terms of helping us achieve success? Or planning. One of my favourite things is not about a plan, but it's about an attitude that looks through the windscreen as opposed to through the rearview mirror of your business. While you're focusing on potential mistakes and it seems negative, you've got to be aware of those common pitfalls that will help you prepare and respond effectively. Just as I hope you won't go on holiday without planning, you shouldn't run your business without having some idea of a plan and planning ahead. That means end goal, That means activity plan. That means what do you need by way of marketing resources, marketing actions. And it's not just about posting on social media. What's the investment that you need to make? What's the information that you need to look at? What's the monitoring? All those ingredients go into a plan. And folks, just as a side comment, do check out Numbers Know-How website, by the way, where we've got resources and a community which helps businesses get closer to their numbers, embed planning and execute the objective of plan it, do it, profit. I want to mention a couple of more elements in this podcast before we wrap up, and that's looking at the idea of self-employment and business success. Now, many people do consider working for themselves. It's not always right for everybody, but it's certainly something that's becoming more popular, and that can be a real life-changing experience. Now, the positives, the upsides includes those flexibility of working hours, varied work, increased job satisfaction, new challenges, you get autonomy, a better work-life balance in theory, and potentially higher earnings. But it also has its downsides, and that's something you've got to really consider when you actually expand your business, start a business, do a new pivot, is about the idea about what the negative sides are as well. Some of the things to watch out that will derail your idea of success, by the way, is a mismatch between the resources and the expectations. Your mindset transition from maybe working for somebody else, leaving college, and transitioning to the world of working for yourself. It takes time. Poor or inadequate market research, weak operational, financial and strategic planning, poor credit control, so doing the work for people but not getting paid on time. All these things are fixable, by the way. Being product-led rather than customer-focused, having too much risk embedded in the costs and the financing, lack of formalities like basic contracts. Now, the list is by no means exhaustive, or is it a judgment on anyone who's experienced these issues? As I said earlier in the podcast, I myself have made those mistakes and probably will continue to make mistakes, albeit that the intensity of those mistakes and the number is much less. Well, as one would expect, after being in business for quite a number of years and helping thousands of businesses do more than survive, but thrive and prosper. What's the conclusion? Well, business success relies on a mix of mindset, hard work, luck, and solid business disciplines. It's 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. I'd like to hear your thoughts, folks. What does business success look like for you? I'd like you to check out, please, the Numbers Know-How business community. Plan it, do it, profit is our underpinning philosophy. Join like-minded business people, small businesses, artists, coaches, access resources, and ways to turn and develop your business.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and appreciate you taking the time to listen to the show. We hope you got some value. If you did, then we'd love it if you shared the episode. We look forward to you joining us next week for another I Hate Numbers episode.